So what I'm going to do here is take just a few notes to form a bunch of different licks. So when you're doing blues licks like this, it's not so much always about playing exactly how the other person is. It's a lot of times just taking the ideas and trying to make them your own. So the first licks are going to come from our favorite minor pentatonic form, an A minor. 1 4 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 4 1 4. So we're gonna see the notes that we're gonna be playing with first. So put your third finger on the 7th fret of the G string. It's a D note. And we're also gonna play the 5th fret of the G string with your first finger, C note, and then the 7th fret of the D string, your root A note. So these three notes. A, C, D. So you can see how we can take these three notes and make a bunch of different licks. So I can start with the G string, 7th fret, third finger, put these two behind on the same string, and we're going to use the power of 3 fingers to bend. So I get the blues grip here, where I put my thumb over the top. I'm not cupping underneath here. I still have some space in here, but I get leverage by bringing the thumb up. So there's that first lick, would just be bending that up, bringing it back down, and then going to the 5th fret of the G string, and then your root on the D string, the 7th fret. You don't even have to bend it first, you could just go. Notice how I'm vibratoing at the end? That's more of a classical. I could have done that. Alright, that's I'm using all 3 fingers to vibrato. That. Maybe I'll start on this note here, the D string of the 7th fret. I'll go on the root. I'll go. So that was and then the 5th fret of the G string, and then bending that 7th fret up of the G string, bringing it back down, and then back to the 5th fret of it. But now we're going to give this just a slight bend, just to kind of introduce the major third in there. And some other things I'm doing here is I'm raking. So my palm on my right hand here is staying on the strings, and as I come through, I come up and away. So here would be like a. See here, I'm getting that rake before I bend here. So now I'll start on this note. So far I've started a lick here going, and then I started one on this going, I'll give the bend here, right? Now I'll start a lick starting here on the C note, the 5th fret of the G string. So I'll hammer on to the 7th fret. So there I hammered on, a little vibrato, a little rake. Again. I'm hammering on. So it's hammering on 5 to 7, back to 5 of the G, and then 7th fret D string, and then do it again. So far everything I've done has just been with these 3 notes. It does get tricky because I'm feeling very limited by just playing these 3 notes. But I can always come up an octave higher to A here at the 10th fret of the B string, and I can do the same stuff. Same stuff here. I'm just playing the same 3 notes an octave higher. So now I'm at the 10th fret of the B string, going to the 8th fret of the high E, to the 10th fret of the high E. It's the same A, C, D, A, C, D, A, C, D, A, C, D. string, so it's different feel, different sounds. I mean, it's the same notes, but you just it feels different. Different tones of the string. So all I'm doing is playing the same licks. Playing the same exact licks, just in a different octave up the neck. Okay, so now here, let's do this with music. So I'll start where we did in the first page, okay? Three notes the whole time. That's all I was doing. Just manipulating these three notes in many different possible ways. You know, I just realized I never did any slides. So I'm just taking, instead of playing the 5th fret, picking it with the 3rd finger, I slide. Just sliding to it. Now here's a case where I would probably slide against my thumb. So you can see that my thumb's not moving when I do it. I'm not moving my hand going because I'm sliding. If I'm coming right back to the same note after the slide, I'm going to keep my thumb where it's at and just slide against my thumb. It's more stability when you do that. You see how my thumb's not moving. Okay, so yeah, so the important thing there is just that I'm just using those 3 notes. So I've said a lot already with just the same 3 notes. It's a really important thing to remember, especially I think in blues guitar, where it's phrasing. So it's saying a little bit and then pausing. Alright, so here's the licks up here at the 10th fret of the B string. So the same licks. See, I was controlling the bend. I'm really trying to hear that coming down. And mind little itty bitty steps. You know, just coming down. All right. That's essentially me just going. No. So you can see again, you know, just by mixing these up. Okay, now real quickly what I'll do is I add this little slide in here to connect these 3 notes. And what we'll do here is use our third finger. Okay, first actually let's introduce a fourth note. Make this easier to understand. Then we're seeing these three notes that we already know here. We know these three notes, so just add in the 5th fret of the D string, right? Again, you need to be keeping your eyes on this scale. Everything is coming from this scale so far. When we move it up, yes, we do move to a different form, but these first 3 notes, or 4 notes now, are coming from this scale form of A minor pentatonic. So yeah, we're going to add in the 5th fret of the D string. So essentially you see a little box, right? So just those 4 notes, and then if we add this note in an octave higher, we'd be at the 8th fret of the B string. So we go up another octave, we get the same 4 notes. Right? 8 of B, 10 of B, 8 of high E, 10 of high E. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add a shift note in to get to the next octave. So there what I did was when I started on the 5th fret of the D string. So I go up the scale, and then when I got to the 7th fret of the G string, I slid that note up to the 9th fret of the G string, and then I added my first finger onto the 8th fret of the B string. Now we're back into that 4-note pattern with the 4 notes we've been using. So again, that's... So, you see how useful that is? To get into the next octave. Makes it a little bit more of a little bit of a smoother transition, but there's nothing wrong with just jumping. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with just jumping right into those 4 notes either. So sometimes you want to do a slide into it. Sometimes you want to just jump up to it. Either way, but here it is over some music. So just got to spend some time with that stuff and just work through it, and you know, you're saying a lot with a little right there, and that's a really important thing to understand. A lot of what I think for me is, yes, I feel like I have good ability to move my fingers smoothly and fast and effortlessly, and it's a lot of the devices that I'm doing, especially with doing licks and stuff like this, that bring it to life. It's the raking, you know, the bending, just being able to manipulate that note, right? Vibrato. What else? Slide. Vibrato. So a lot of that stuff's important to start to get down. Just playing the scale, if we were just to play these 3 notes like, I mean, it's, you know, it's just kind of dry to me. You got to bring some, right, you got to do some stuff, you know, bending and vibrato and all that to bring it to life. All right, so let's move on to our next lick. So this is kind of classic stuff here, in my opinion. We're in the same A minor pentatonic, and we're going to double stop here. That means fretting 2 notes at once. So we're going to fret both the 5th fret of the B string and the high E at the same time with our first finger. And then our 2nd and 3rd finger are going to come onto the G string, ring fingers at the 7th, middle fingers behind it at the 6th. And you don't want to have your thumb under too much for this. You want to have it up a little bit. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to use these two fingers to bend that G string up, and we're going to let it go. Now what you want to do is you want to have your index finger touching the G string in advance. So when I call it a bend and a throw away. I just want to bend it and throw it away, right? So what I'm hoping is that when I let it go, that bend, that my index finger will catch it on the way down and mute it out. Because then after the bend, I'm picking the B string, the high E string, and then I'll pick the B string again. So, and then what I do is I'm going to bend up, go to the 8th fret of the B string. With my 3rd finger, I'm going to bend that up the whole step. So. Okay, so picking, I guess what am I doing here? I'm going. See what happens when you bend a lot, right? The guitar will go out of tune. Okay, so I'm in tune now. So yeah, I'm going pick. My picking is down, down, up. So down, down, up, down. Sometimes you can rate or you can sweep pick this. Right? So again, I'm manipulating these notes, and it's just getting comfortable with this move here, though. Bending that, throwing it away, and then picking the B, E, B. And then getting your ring finger up here to bend. So I controlled that down. If you're having a problem with bending, bring your thumb up a little bit. You really got to keep pushing down as you bend up. And don't try to use one finger because you don't have as much power. If you use a couple extra fingers here, well, now I have the power of 3 fingers to bend, and the thumb is for leverage. This helps me dig. But it takes a lot of hand strength too to do this, so don't get discouraged if you're just starting out doing something like this. So again, that lick is. Okay, so let's hear that over some music. So have fun messing around with those.